Okay, so gather your tools, take a screenshot of this, and make sure you get all of these things. The first step to this process is hand washing. Make sure you use a nail brush and get underneath your nails and around your cuticle area. Filing your own nails can be a troublesome process because it's easy to go too far and to not understand what you're doing. So let's continue with some tips that I've learned along the way of doing nails for 8 years. So I'm using a 240 grit file. It's from Stalix. It's a sleeve file. You can purchase these online if you look up the brand Stalix. We're not here to talk about what brand of nail file I'm using. Right now I'm rounding out the edges because I'm going to be creating a round shape. With my nail type, I have a strong C curve. It's easy for me to keep my nails looking narrow with not a lot of length because of that. A lot of times people will file deeply into the side right here, and I don't recommend that because that creates less strength for your nail while it grows out and they will break. Or rip and cause a snag on something. It can be really painful, so it's better just to keep a little bit of your side of your free edge so your nail has a less likely chance to break. If you have flat, wide nails and you want them to be skinny, but you're not willing to grow them out or get extensions, I don't have a solution for you. I think you should probably just accept your nails how they are and file conservatively. I don't think short, wide nails look bad. That could just be me. I like all nails, but they're probably not as bad as you feel they are. Anyways, as you can see, I'm going towards the center line and I'm filing underneath the nail from the side of my nail to the center line. Here, this is an easy way. If you're doing a round nail and you want both sides to be even, just divide your nail with the file. Look down and see if the nail is going towards the center evenly on both sides. I'm just cleaning out some little bits of dirt from my nail, okay? If you have curvy nails, you know what I'm talking about. Stuff can get stuck under there sometimes. Now, when you're filing your non-dominant hand on yourself, it can be a little bit tricky. And one of the ways that you can make it a little bit easier is if you rub your nail on the file as opposed to rubbing the file on your nail. That way you can kind of control the outcome a little bit easier. The side of this index finger points down, and I am going to straighten it by filing it from my sidewall to the middle of my nail, making sure that my file is completely horizontal so it can take up the uneven part of the nail. The file is still underneath my free edge. If you have a hard time paying attention because you get distracted while you're doing a manicure, like maybe you're watching TV, I suggest giving yourself the time and letting yourself know this is my 15 or 20 minutes that I'm going to be present and filing my nails and really feeling the self-care of giving myself a manicure. It's really good for you. Try it out and it'll help you file your nails better. I'm just rubbing my nail along the file while I'm sort of curving it towards the center line of my nail. So as you can see, I'm kind of doing it in a flicking motion. It's quite easy. Just want to get that round shape on my nails. Keep in mind when you're filing your nails, when you put polish on, if you do that, the nails will curl under a little bit just from dehydration, and they will look a little bit thinner as well. So what you're filing is not what you're going to see in the end if you're wearing polish. So you can see that I am always checking my nails to see if they are all the same length. And while I'm checking the nails, I'm not actually checking to see if the free edge, the white part, is all even on all of the nails. I'm actually looking to see if the nail as a whole, the whole nail plate, is even. If you were to paint your nails with a solid color, you want your nails to be all around the same length rather than having the white side of your nail all the same length, if that makes sense. And that's just how I'm trained, so that is what I'm doing here, and something to be mindful of if you are going to paint your nails a solid color. Because when you put the polish on, you see the evenness of the entire nail, not the free edge. During a dry manicure, your hands are going to be just that, dry, so trust the process and continue on. Your nails are going to be fine after when you rehydrate them with cuticle oil and hand lotion. Making sure that you have the least amount of oil on your nails as possible while you're working is going to ensure that you have a nice clean surface for the polish to adhere to if you're polishing, and I suggest doing it if you want long-lasting polish. So I'm using a metal cuticle pusher on this side to show you what to do. If you have one, just gently push up your cuticle area. It's actually called a proximal nail fold, but for some reason we also call them cuticles. I like to say cuticle area. Anyways, now I'm using an orange wood stick, which is what I suggest because it is a lot gentler on the natural nail plate, and as you are learning, it's better to use something that's a little bit more dull and gentle on the nail, just so you have less chance of causing any damage to your nail plate. It's easy to be heavy-handed on yourself, so I would suggest trying the orange wood stick. Now I'm using a buffer and I'm just going around the free edge of the nail. I do this a little bit so then I can remove some of the extra nail that's underneath my nail, and also to create a nice beveled edge on the end. While you're filing, extra nail accumulates underneath the free edge of your nail, so make sure you use a buffer and an orange wood stick to get out that extra nail because it can result in lifting if you leave it. And now I'm going to use the orange wood stick to gently remove any cuticle from the nail plate, which is this almost transparent substance that collects on your nail plate that comes from the underside of your proximal nail fold. We remove that because we are trying to prep the nails for polish. You don't necessarily have to remove it if you're not polishing your nails, but if you are, then I suggest removing it. That way there is a nice clean surface for the polish to adhere to. Anyways, I like to do dry manicures because I started my nail career doing gel, and that's how I was taught. I find it a lot neater, and I do not recommend using Blue Cross because if you don't remove it in time, you can cause a lot more damage, and it also takes a lot of extra skin off. My recommendation is to start using a cuticle orange wood stick and gently pushing up your cuticles, and also moisturizing with a product that has 10% urea in it around your cuticle area will start to tighten up and look a lot nicer, and you don't have to go through a lot of extra steps. You don't have to cut too much skin, and it's quite easy, simple, and something you can do at home. I've seen this work with clients and I highly recommend it. To clean up the cuticle area a little bit more, I'm just taking my buffer and I'm gently buffing around the curve of my cuticle area. That way everything will look nice and neat. Okay, so I'm going to take my nippers and I'm going to go around the cuticle area and just remove any little snags that I know are going to be kind of annoying in the future, and any hangnails, anything like that. I'm not taking a bunch of my skin off because this is a quick manicure. I don't want to be here for an extra 15 minutes cleaning up my skin. And if this is your first time using a pair of cuticle nippers, just practice, use caution. You don't need to take all your skin off. Next, I'm going to clean up a little bit of extra skin buildup with my nail file. I'm just gently rubbing it on the skin, and that helps exfoliate it away. Okay, these are what the nails look like before we start the next chapter on polish. Before you polish your nails, you're going to want to prep your nails with either a nail prep or a 99% alcohol to remove oils and grease. Make sure that you get the entirety of the nail, and a little bit of light pressure is okay. Prepping your nails ensures that you are going to get a lasting manicure, and you should be able to get at least a week out of this polish brand. Whenever I do my nails, I like to start by painting my dominant hand with my non-dominant hand. Why do I do this? Because it means that I will be able to finish my nails quickly. The key to painting with your non-dominant hand is making sure that it's planted on a surface and working slowly. Also, make sure that you practice product control. I'm using a little bit of polish on the brush. It's a quite liquidy polish, so you don't need very much. And I'm gently placing the bead onto the cuticle area of the nail and then brushing it towards the free edge. And I do that from the center, side, and then center again just to even out the coat. On this hand, I'm not capping the free edge. I don't usually cap the free edge of my nails and I have no issue. So if you're wondering why I didn't do it on this hand, that's why. But I will do it on this hand. You may think that I made painting my dominant hand look easy, but your day 1 is not the same as someone's year 8. Something like that, you know? So don't worry, just keep practicing, it'll be okay. So to steady your dominant hand while you're painting, plant your pinky onto the finger of the nail that you're painting on your non-dominant hand. That way you'll have a lot more control and you'll be able to control where the brush goes and have less mistakes on your nails. Okay, we're finished. This is the Active Glow Blueberry, which has more of a blue tint. I prefer this one. Now we're moving on to the shiny top coat. And I am essentially doing the same thing that I did with my first coat, except for I changed it up. I decided to paint my non-dominant hand first. Anyways, there are no real rules, but I do like to start with my painting with my non-dominant hand, just so I feel like it's a lot quicker. If you have a little bit of a free edge, make sure that you oil under your nails because that's where it's going to be most beneficial. Make sure to oil your nails daily, maybe after every hand wash if you can. Build up the habit, it's important. Manicuring is a cumulative process, so the more that you do this weekly, the better your nails are going to look. The better your nails are probably going to feel. Less hangnails, you're going to have less stuff to pick off of your skin. Okay, so how should we continue this series of home nail care? Should we do a foot video? Comment a foot if yes.